To piggyback. It's really annoying because
Because nobody uses it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Learn English with Teachify. Woohoo!
Hello.
Mickey, how are we?
I'm very well, thank you, Lewis. How are you?
I can't complain, I've already been for a run this morning, and
You make me
today I can actually focus on the things that I should be doing, which is a relief. So yeah, I'm in a good mood today. And
Very nice.
Will, how about you? How's it going?
I'm pretty good, Lewis. Thank you for asking. I did not go for a run this morning because that's crazy. So I went for a run yesterday, and honestly, my feet really hurt. And I'm still trying to understand why you guys love it so much.
Come
But I'm glad
on.
to do.
You like it a little bit.
And also, I need at least an hour and a half to recover afterwards because I do not stop sweating.
You stretch before, after, or during.
No, mate, that's crazy.
But as I say, no pain, no gain. If you want to achieve something, you need to suffer. No pain, no gain.
100%, Lewis. This is what I was thinking for the last few kilometers yesterday. I was thinking, why do these guys do it? And then I was thinking, actually, you know what? It doesn't matter why these people. The fact is, it's difficult. I'm going to do it as much as possible, even if it means probably shattering my shins because they can't take the weight that's on them. Probably should have done more leg days at the gym.
Wow.
I did tell you this about 5 years ago.
You did. Yeah, you did. Yeah. Now my legs are struggling.
It's all right. You can do it. You can do it. We believe in you. Everybody is cheering you on.
I appreciate it.
Cheer on or cheer up? Mickey, what's the difference between these two phrasal verbs, cheer on and cheer up?
I know the difference because I always cheer on my amazing, fantastic football team, which is Tottenham. It's not pronounced Tottenham, it's pronounced Tottenham. So I always cheer on my football team, which is to encourage them to play well and to hopefully win, which is not always the case. But it doesn't matter because I stand by them. I support them, win or lose. So that is to cheer on. Go on, Will.
No, sorry. It's just you said your amazing football team. I'm just looking at the league now. It seems the last 5 games, you've lost 4 games. Is that right?
We're not good. We don't finish strong. We start well and we don't finish strong. It's part of our DNA by the looks of it because every year is the same.
But you cheer them on anyway.
I cheer them on regardless because I am a loyal supporter.
And don't be sad. I know they're not in very good form. Leeds aren't in good form either, but it's all right. Cheer up.
Yeah, there you go. And there's the second one. So to cheer up is to be happy, is to smile, is to change your mood from negative to positive. To be happy, to cheer up.
To turn that frown upside down.
Oh, no.
Right. Yeah. Turn that frown upside down, the opposite way round.
Yeah. And the thing is, Will, is you can laugh all you like, but when Arsenal lose at the end of the season to Manchester City, that will be 2 seasons in a row where they have bottled it, which is a lovely expression as well, to bottle it. And what does that mean? Will.
Well, I was going to use a similar thing, which would be to fumble the bag as well, which I think is another one. But I think
I've never used I'm
not sure what you're on about.
Don't know where you learned that one, but that's not right.
Okay, all right. Okay, no problem. But it means right at the last minute you make a mistake, which takes away everything that you've done.
What's that? There's that one with the baton, in the relay race, to drop the baton. Is that an expression to
drop the ball?
Drop the ball,
which is a little bit different, I think, but yeah, similar, more or less.
Anyway, we are completely going off topic, Lewis.
No idea what we're talking.
We are going off topic. The expression you're looking for is to pass on the baton. If you give a task or a responsibility to someone else in a relay race, you are carrying the baton, you're holding it, and then you pass it on to the next person. You give them the responsibility to continue. But yeah, that's loads and loads of expressions, loads and loads of phrasal verbs and advanced stuff without actually getting into the topic. So we're going to be speaking all about linked in.
Oh, how did you pronounce that?
Linked. So many of you might know that if a regular verb in the past ends in a K, like check, for example, we pronounce it like a T. So linked, and then LinkedIn. It's like two different words. LinkedIn.
It's perfect pronunciation. Anyone would think you were native English, Lewis.
I know. So speaking about LinkedIn, first of all, Will, do you use LinkedIn? And how much do you use it? What do you use it for? And so on.
First of all, great question. Okay.
Thank you.
I think that's a really good question. A question we should really, really think about, because I have to confess, I am not very good with LinkedIn now. In the past, I used it much more. And I remember I used to post articles and I used to write articles and actually, yeah, I remember a specific article that I wrote. I remember taking an image from Pexels and putting it, and it was called "The Juice is Worth the Squeeze" or something,
Okay.
which was basically saying that it's a lot of work to learn a language, but in the end, it's not just something you put on your CV. It opens up the whole world, so it's something very important. But no, I think LinkedIn is something very important to connect with other professionals and to grow your professional presence. So in this digital world now where everyone is programming and everyone's artificial intelligence now, to be honest, all posts are generated by ChatGPT. So it seems.
Can I ask why you stopped posting?
Yes, you can. I found a job that I loved, and I didn't. I didn't feel the need to shout about my presence in the professional world because I knew
you feel like you completed it, like your life was complete.
I've completed work, mate. If work was a game, I'm just replaying.
It.
Yeah, I've done it.
Killed it.
But also, there's one more thing I hate. I have to say that I don't like LinkedIn for some reasons. And I saw this the other day. I can't remember if it was a meme or it was an actual post. It was a picture of a man getting married to his wife. And it's like, got married to the best person in the world last Saturday. Here's 3 things I learned about that day that helps me in business. Problem, everyone screams on LinkedIn about things that in real life they wouldn't, so it just seems a little fake sometimes, but I understand the importance of it, if that makes sense.
It's an interesting point about LinkedIn. People are always like showing off. They're kind of trying to think about something that might be relevant to work or business, when really in normal life, you wouldn't mention these things with your friends or your family. It's just trying to find content and trying to stay relevant, I guess. But maybe we're both very cynical.
This is the thing, isn't it, with like most social media platforms, is like capturing moments in real life that you would want to be able to share, but it's like it makes it unnatural because you would have to have somebody following you around, recording your every move to catch these moments to reshare. Like it's weird. It's a strange concept, isn't it? But I guess if you don't post or you don't write about it, then nobody knows. But it also can make people feel bad if they're not doing it, I think. Because they're like, we should be doing something like this, but we're not.
It's all about social pressure, peer pressure.
I saw another one, which was a guy walking into a bar and all his mates and him go, oof. And I go, what we celebrate is like, I've been working in my job for 3 years today.
Oh dear. And Nikki, how about you? You've previously confessed that you love LinkedIn. So what is it that you like about it and how do you use it?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the only social media platform which, for me, has not converted into a dating app. So it's, I'm joking. No, it's quite a professional platform, which I like, and I connect with a lot of clients on there. I was, I was planning this the whole time. I wanted to see your reaction, and it was not as good as I thought. It was. It was good.
Yeah, I thought you were about to be professional, after what you've just said.
Well, the thing is you have to also be, not take yourself too seriously sometimes. So I'm just showing you both sides of the coin.
um, but yeah, tell us, how do you use LinkedIn apart from trying to date with people?
No, I don't use it for that. This is strictly professional. I really enjoy it because I use it quite a lot. Like again, look at Will's face.
Oh, wow. Just I didn't. When you said the two sides of the coin, I was thinking you are basically a coin with one side.
That is right. You've only got one idea. The I use it quite a lot because we connect. We actually, a lot of our clients that have joined Teachify have come through LinkedIn, and it's purely just been outreach. So it's just been me scouting a company, thinking, okay, does this company fit with our profile? Is it the size of client that we tend to work with? Is it in the sector that we have experience with? And if that is the case, then I would happily reach out to them, send them a message, hopefully get a response, ask for the email for the person who's responsible for internal training, and then send them an email with a proposal and try to arrange a meeting. Actually, we have closed quite a few clients doing this. So it definitely has its benefits. And yeah, I like it. I quite enjoy LinkedIn because I think what I also like about it is I don't get addicted to it because, as you know, I don't have other social media platforms. And one of the reasons was because I was addicted to them. I got addicted to scrolling. I spend wasting time. Whereas with LinkedIn, I never find myself sitting there for hours on end going through everything. I might do it a couple of times a week, but it's a very short period of time. So that's also quite good for me.
Perfect. Just to go over a couple of things, you use a nice phrasal verb, which is to reach out to someone. So you've reached out to HR managers or potential clients, to leads, and to reach out to someone is to contact them, to get in touch with them. Really good phrasal verb. And you were mentioning scrolling up and down, two more phrasal verbs. There's a new internet word, maybe it's slang, and it's called deaf scrolling. So
Oh, really?
you are spending a lot of time on social media, just scrolling up and down without any apparent aim. You are deaf scrolling. So that's how the kids talk nowadays.
Well, I never heard of that one. So I've learned something new today. Like it.
Perfect. And another question, because you mentioned that LinkedIn is less like other social media websites, and people don't try to get with each other and flirt with each other. You have your real name all the time, so you can't really have trolls on LinkedIn. But like, do you think LinkedIn is evolving to become like Instagram, TikTok, etc.? I'll leave that open to both of you.
Yeah, I don't know because they don't have they did, I think a couple of years ago, I don't know if they still do, but they did have like the news feed that you have on Instagram. Is it the news feed? No, what's it called? What's the one that's 24 hours? Is that news?
Oh, the stories.
The stories, yeah. They did have stories on LinkedIn at one point, but it was very brief because we used it a few times for the business. And I think they've done a pretty good job of keeping themselves separate and keeping it professional because something you notice on other platforms like Twitter or X and Instagram is, some people write some ridiculous comments on posts, like stupid. Whereas on LinkedIn, you don't see that so often. If you do have comments, it's usually positive, impacted comments. Or if somebody disagrees with something that someone's written, it's usually a constructive criticism. It's not people like arguing and insulting each other. So I think they've done really well at trying to kind of keep themselves separate from that side. I don't know what you think, Will. I don't know if you've noticed anything like that.
Yeah, I actually agree. And a little bit surprised in some ways because many, many years ago, when all of the social media started to come out, LinkedIn, I honestly thought was going to be like that. In fact, when I started LinkedIn, I remember adding people going, okay, this is fun. Let's get some friends and then let's get some likes, But this is when I moved to Spain. And to be honest, I was surprised that, yeah, it was relatively clear that this was definitely a professional setting, and they've managed to keep that difference. So it's quite impressive the way they've done it. And but I have to say, much like Instagram, and I'm going back to this, but the Instagram, I'm sure you've all heard everyone says nothing is real on Instagram. It's you only take the best moments. No one's posting the bad moments, etc. LinkedIn is quite similar.
Yeah.
So those comments, for example, congratulating someone on a work anniversary, for example, for me, they just feel a little bit empty. And that, for example, when I completed 4 years or 3 years in Teachify, I was getting messages from people in India, and I was like, well, I'm not sure you really care about my work anniversary.
But thank you.
But yeah, but hey, I mean, that's great. So it's, you know what it reminds me of? Networking events where everybody's trying to sell. So you talk to someone and they will talk to you because they want to sell their thing, and you will talk to them because you're trying to sell your thing. It's kind of a little bit like that in my eyes.
Yeah. And sorry, I'm asking questions. I'm basically interviewing both of you because as you're speaking, I'm thinking of another way to move this conversation. But a little bit of grammar at the same time. It reminds me of. So this is a really common mistake where people, in particular Spanish speakers, will say, it remembers me, or it reminds me too. So just going over this correction, remind and remember. You remember something if you recall it. And to remind is like to help to remember. So speaking about this is helping me remember networking events. So it reminds me of, preposition of and not to, because in Spanish it's translated as me recuerda a. It reminds me of. And Will, you raised your hand. What is it you want to say?
Sorry, this is not, I just have a question for you after you've explained. So
no, that was it. To remind and remember, two separate verbs, and with it reminds me of.
Good.
Shoot.
Okay, perfect. And well, just to piggyback off that, my favorite expression ever. Whenever you have a preposition of, if you have a verb afterwards, remember always the gerund, ing, of doing something, etc. My question for Lewis: you're big on social media, you're big on Instagram, and you pay attention to LinkedIn. How do you treat these two differently? Because both of them you use as a business or for work, etc. So how do you separate the two? Do you post the same content, or are you aware of the focus is different? I don't.
Yeah, so what I post on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram is only video, because I realized that like during the pandemic and when I started posting, that videos are the best way to get a good reach and to reach the largest number of people possible. So that's why I decided that I would exclusively focus on them. And because I started on Instagram, I thought, well, Instagram is favoring videos at this point, so that gives me the best chance to grow my profile. And at the same time, I could cross-share on YouTube Shorts and TikTok. So I didn't really need to change any of the content I was creating. There are some people
you see those three platforms, like, or the short format, as basically the same audience, same video content, like no.
Not quite the same, but I think it's okay to post the same content to all of them. Some people might disagree with this, and I know there are experts that say that you should have separate content from each one. But then that's a lot of work. If you have to create 3 different videos, then that is 3 times the work. And
you do have a job, Lewis.
Yeah, exactly. Like sometimes there will be some videos which will be really successful on YouTube that wouldn't be on TikTok or that wouldn't be on Instagram. But more often than not, the same content that is successful will be successful on all 3.
Do you post when you cross share? Do you cross share at the same time, or do you do them on different days?
The same day, but an individual upload. I can't upload them to all 3 at the same time. But that's kind of unrelated because the focus is on LinkedIn, and with LinkedIn there is a difference. And I spend very little time on LinkedIn, to be honest. But on Fridays, in the morning or after I finish work, I very quickly plan the posts that I'm going to schedule and upload for the following week. And for this, I never really post videos. Sometimes I'll reshare a video from YouTube, but generally speaking, I just upload basically similar videos to the ones I do in Spanish, but the main focus is on not showing my face and not making it like a video, because then it feels too similar
really
to the other three platforms.
Because
Whereas
nobody
with
uses
LinkedIn,
it.
I've noticed that the most successful posts are usually people just telling a story or expressing themselves, giving new expressions or phrasal verbs, but just in writing. And I feel like that's still where LinkedIn is focusing its efforts on written content rather than video content. But there's a little bit of everything, to be honest.
I wonder if they will open it up to like the real features, kind of like, like real, have like a section at the top, because you can upload like real style videos to your LinkedIn profiles and you can feature them. But I wonder if that will become a section that they will later incorporate. Not too sure. It'd be interesting to see.
Anything could happen. Yeah. And related to that, on the Teachify profile, there is new content practically every day, sharing different expressions, phrasal verbs, business English phrases. Yesterday, we uploaded a post related to HR content and HR vocabulary. So if you don't already follow us on LinkedIn, what are you waiting for? Check it out.
I mean, that's beautiful. Definitely check it out.
Awesome. Now, LinkedIn is kind of most famous and most used by people for actually posting job adverts and applying for jobs. Mickey, have you ever applied for a job on LinkedIn?
Yeah, I think I've applied for a couple of jobs on LinkedIn, actually. I also did something, don't know if I'm proud of this and if I should even tell anyone, especially while it's being recorded. But there was actually a client that I wanted to close once and I couldn't get in contact with the person that I wanted. So I applied for a job position that I saw that they'd posted for, just so I could get in contact with the person I wanted to try and sell our services. We didn't close the client, but it was quite funny. And the person, we're still in contact every now and then. So it's quite funny. But yeah, no, apart from that, not really.
Okay, perfect. Will, have you applied for jobs on LinkedIn before?
Trying to think if I think I have, and I think that I wasn't. Ooh. No, I think I applied for a job on LinkedIn and it wasn't seen. My application wasn't, well, they didn't accept or get back to me. But then I phoned the academy, or I went into the academy, and I didn't actually want the job. I was just curious about the working conditions to compare with my previous job.
Well, you wanted to ask for a pay rise. You wanted to go in there with an offer on the table, didn't you?
No, I actually didn't, because I'm a loyal dog, and I could name the academy. You know what the academy is, because it's I mean,
Let's not say it.
Let's just it's
Ignore
definitely
them.
it's definitely not number 17. Let's say that. And but yeah, because it was a new academy, it was cool. I wanted to go in and see, just to see what the difference was that they were offering, that what my old company, which I won't say, was offering. And then they offered me a job, which I wasn't interested in, but I wanted to see more or less, just to make a comparison. But in the end, that wasn't through LinkedIn. But I saw the job post on LinkedIn. So,
yeah, I think it's quite good for job posts. I think it's interesting. I think. Do you think different countries? Because I know that, for example, if I compare my English friends, well, we're all English, but like people that are living back in the UK, they don't use LinkedIn very much. If I speak to my family, my brother, my sister, my English friends, none of them see the benefits of LinkedIn, which I find quite strange. And I don't know if that's because we've been living in Spain, or obviously, Lewis, you're in Brussels at the moment, but you lived in Spain for a long time. I feel like in Spain, LinkedIn is huge.
I think personally, my theory for that is because the Spanish job market hasn't been the best over the last decade. So that forces people to try to stand out from the crowd and to be different from other people. So then you have to make more of an effort to improve your personal brand and your professional reputation to get a better job, because there has been a high rate of unemployment, in particular among young people during the last decade, which hasn't really been the case in the UK. So then you don't have the reason, there's nothing pushing you to sell yourself on LinkedIn, because usually when you're using LinkedIn, it's not just to like death scroll and have a look at the content. It's to be able to get something out of it. And Spanish people have had to do that, which might actually help them moving forward in the future, because they'll have learned skills that people in the UK won't have. Again, massive generalization, but that's my theory for why this happens.
So, sorry, I was just having a look at the LinkedIn users, and it seems the majority is the United States, but the UK actually comes in at number 5, with more or less twice the amount of users as Spain. So basically, Mickey, that was absolute rubbish what you just said. It is.
Oh, really?
But that's
must just be my
your little bubble.
social circle.
No, I know. Actually, I agree, because I know my brother, etc., uses LinkedIn, but I know that he hates it. I think there is definitely much more cynicism towards LinkedIn in the UK than there is in Spain, I feel. No, I don't know what you feel. What's it like in Belgium? I don't know if you're in.
They love it over there.
It's weird because I live in Belgium, but then I don't really interact with Belgians that much. So I'm kind of out of the picture. I wouldn't be able to comment on it.
So you don't like Belgians?
I love Belgians. They're amazing. But it's interesting.
It's gotcha journalism.
Yeah. I think we'll call it a day there, but let's just go over some expressions and some things that have come up during this call. First of all, Mickey used a phrasal verb to reach out to someone. What does it mean?
Yeah, so to reach out is to contact someone that you previously had zero contact with. So usually when you're reaching out, tends to be for the first time. You can use it if you've reached out to them more than one time, but usually we would use it in the context of the first time, I would say. Would you agree with that? Going to reach out to...
Yeah. You usually reach out to someone the first time you contact them. You get in touch with them.
Yeah.
And I also mentioned the common mistake, remember and remind. Remember, remind is to help to remember, and we use it with the preposition of. That reminds me of when I was a child. And then when I explained that, will you also explain to your favorite expression, which is related to an animal and this part, not the front of your body? What was the expression?
To piggyback. It's really annoying because
nobody uses it.
But there's definitely no translation, but it's like to piggyback off of what, and there's two off. So there's to piggyback off of what you're saying, and it just means to add something that's related. Okay, so it's like to use what you said as a stepping stone to speak about another topic. Hi, Mickey.
What you have just taught is exactly the same as somebody teaching it's raining cats and dogs. Nobody uses raining cats and dogs.
Here's the difference, Mickey. All right. None of us use raining cats and dogs. I've used piggyback off of in pretty much every Instagram live. Which, by the way, are they coming back? Who knows? We will keep that a secret until they are coming back. All right. God damn it. Yeah. And I will be using this expression in every Instagram live we do, Lewis. But yeah, I use that a lot. And you've used it in an Instagram live. Don't make me go through the archives and find one.
I use it just to follow suit. But I would normally say, on that note, related to would be, I think, the more common options. But anyway, each to their own.
Disagree.
Fantastic. So thank you so much for watching or for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this with someone else who might be wanting to improve their English. Follow us on LinkedIn. Thank you, and see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.